Let's get to CNBC's Josh Lipton taking a look at Apple with the company's App Store most likely in focus for today's hearing. Josh.
So, John, a uniquely American company. That is how Tim Cook is going to describe Apple today at this hearing, telling lawmakers that Apple does not have dominant market share in any market where Apple does business, saying, as much as we believe the iPhone provides the best user experience, we know it is far from the only choice available to consumers. Cook will also make the case that competition is alive and well on his App Store, noting, after beginning with 500 apps, today, the App Store boasts more than 1.7 million, only 60 of which are Apple software. And as for App Store fees, Cook is going to push back, arguing that for the vast majority of apps, developers keep 100% of the money they make, and that when Apple does charge a commission, it's comparable to or lower than most rivals. So is that going to be enough, though, to satisfy critics? Listen, we know there's no doubt the App Store is a powerhouse. Sensor Tower says that in the first half of this year, U.S. consumers spent nearly $15 billion in mobile apps, and that Apple generated more than 60% of that. And some lawmakers are talking very tough here. Representative David Cicilline, the subcommittee chairman, has called those App Store fees highway robbery. Guys, back to you.
Hey, Josh, it seems to me that a central question here with these hearings that Congress is going to have to answer is more of a theory of antitrust question, I guess, is how do you define a market in the tech era? If it's just all smartphones, then sure, Apple doesn't have anything close to monopoly or monopoly power. But if sticky ecosystems are themselves a market, then maybe so, right?
So it's interesting. So in hardware, clearly, you're right, John, and Cook has made this case. About 46% of smartphone shipments in the U.S. in the first quarter were Apple's, according to third-party research. My understanding is, even if you were a monopoly, judge a monopoly, that's an interesting question, too. As I understand it, U.S. judges have ruled for a long time here that even if you're a monopoly, that's only a problem if it results in harm or quantifiable consumer harm. So we'll see where this goes. Listen, right now, when you read through the analyst notes, the guys who cover this company, I don't hear a lot of concern about regulatory scrutiny. Clearly, investors aren't too concerned either when it comes to Apple. They may be worried about Google and Facebook, but just pull up that stock chart. That stock has surged about 30% in the past 3 months. The worry here is not today. Today is going to be great television. The worry is really, would the United States government ever really bring a formal claim against Apple in such a way that the App Store business is in some type of risk? Its sales and margins at risk. The App Store is about an estimated 30% of that faster growing, higher margin services segment. Right now, it looks like investors don't appear too worried, though, guys.